Happy Easter. Happy Passover. We're winding up Passover, starting Easter. And today, as you see, it's going to be a very special day. I got my hummingbird in my hair. I got my folk and country shirt on. I even wore my Sweethearts of the Rodeo. It's not exactly the Byrds Sweethearts of the Rodeo, but it is Sweethearts.
This is exactly the Byrds Sweetheart of the Rodeo.
Where did you get that shirt?
I got that at the sort of semi-reunion show a couple of years ago with Marty Stewart's band and Chris Hillman and Roger McGuinn.
It was so great.
One of the best shows ever.
And the steel player and the whole thing was great.
The whole band. And of course I've got the Rickenbacker 12-string.
That was, I have to say,
tuners in front and tuners on the side.
That was my most successful Christmas present to you, I think, ever, was the Byrds concert.
Yeah, that was one of the best shows. Well, I mean, we're Byrds.
Fanatics.
Byrds people.
Let us know if you can hear and see everything where you are. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. We do this every week, and we have been doing it for over a year. If you're not watching on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, this is our YouTube channel. And you're going to want to note this because, and also if you're not a subscriber yet, if you're on YouTube, you can hit the little subscribe button down there. And that's important going forward because we're doing a new poll this week. We wrapped up a poll last week. We'll tell you about that in a little bit. We're doing a new poll this week because sometime in the next week or two, couple weeks, we're going to do a show where you vote for your favorite songs that we learned specifically for this show. So they're all songs that we learned for the show, played one time. And some of them really fit really well with us. So we put up 40 or 50 songs, and you can find those on our YouTube channel. If you click on this link, you'll see a page, and there's a button that says Community. If you hit that Community button, you'll see that poll. You'll need to expand it to see the whole list of songs. The other thing, this week is going to be the first time we do this. We are going to debut a new song, live stream it, sometime during the week. We're not going to put any word out. The only people who will know about it are the people who are subscribed. So be sure and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell, and that will alert you when we post, when we schedule a stream. And are we doing all right? Can you hear us? Sounds good. Looks good. Excellent. And then you'll all be in on the thing. Hit the like button if you would right now as well, because that improves the stream considerably, I'm told. And yeah, so like I said, it's Easter. It's Passover. Did you also know, you didn't know this, it's International Carrot Day. So we're going to really go back to our roots and dig up some good Byrds songs. Any more puns, you can chat them in the window.
So we did a Byrds tribute show last year, and we hit on most of their best-known songs, I think, in that show, the songs that have been singles and on the radio and so forth, and a lot of their iconic songs. But they have so many great songs. They have iconic songs that haven't even been widely heard yet. So we're going to do a mixture today of other of the great icons with some songs that are right up there with their best known songs that you might have not heard, but I know there are some Byrd maniacs out there who know everything that we played today.
One of our Byrd maniac friends is Herbert in France. He sent me a whole list of songs to do. So we're going to dedicate our first two songs to Herbert because he asked for both of these.
When I saw the Byrds in Boston in 1970, this is the song they opened the show with. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Some time and learn how to play.
in lieu of a fade out, we
Ready
actually
show.
we gave it an ending. How about that?
It fades out with that trumpet solo.
I know
on
the
record.
trumpet.
You Masakela.
I always thought that it was like totally unexpected in a rock and roll song for a jazz trumpet. It was cool, though.
Yeah,
Very cool.
really
That's the thing about the Byrds, and we might have mentioned this before. When we first got together in 1993 or so, I remember we were in England, and we were sitting in a cafe, and we were talking about what is our sound going to be. Because at the time we were members of Nancy Griffith's band, but we hadn't really put our own thing together. We wanted to come up with our own sound, and we thought, what if the Byrds formed now, 30 years later, with all the influences that they had rock and roll, but they also incorporated jazz and world music. We thought, what if the Byrds had the access to all the stuff that came in the last 30 years in that, and classical too, really.
Yeah,
So
that was the concept.
So that's why we owe so much to the Byrds, and we love them so dearly.
And sonically, the harmonies and the 12-string and everything, just...
And when you do the Byrds, you gotta throw in one of the Dylan songs. We did most of the Dylan, well-known Dylan penned Byrds singles. Last part one of the show. But here's one we didn't do.
Ready?
Yep. 2, 3, 4. I ain't looking to compete with you, beat or cheat or mistreat you, simplify you, classify you, deny, defy, crucify you. All I really wanna do is, baby, be friends with you. No, I ain't looking to fight with you, frighten you or uptighten you, drag you down or drain you down, chain you down or bring you down. All I really wanna do is, baby, be friends with you. I don't wanna fake you out, take or shake or forsake you out. I ain't looking for you to feel like me, see like me, or be like me. I don't wanna beat your hand, make you spin or do you in, or select you, or dissect you, or inspect you, or reject you. All I really wanna do is, baby, be friends with you, baby, be friends with you, baby, be friends with you.
Yeah.
How we doing? Still
What a
sounding
cool,
good, looking
cool
good.
Dylan song.
The crowd screams, so I'm sure that related to a rock and roll star. This next one is we did a Goffin King song last time. We're gonna do another Jerry Goffin Carole King song, and this is from the Notorious Byrd Brothers album.
Yeah.
Yes,
This is
which
such
we
a
got a
great-
lot of requests to do songs.
This is a great song.
Yeah.
It was also done by Grin, Nils Lofgren,
Yeah.
and Dusty Springfield had a hit with it.
Love Dusty.
And Freddie Mercury, before he was Freddie Mercury,
Yeah, that's right.
he had
heard
a whole
about that.
different name, well, not his real name, but his different stage name, and he did a real cool version of this song too. It's a beautiful song called "Going Back."
2, 3, 4. Think I'm going back to the things I learned so well in my youth. Think I'm returning to those days when I was young enough to know the truth. Now there are no games to only pass the time. No more electric trains, no more trees to climb. I'm going back. What a great song. What a wise song for young people to be singing.
Yeah.
You know? It's a far cry from, never trust a person over 30, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Goffin and
Thinking
Goffin
young
King.
and growing old, there's no sin.
They were part of that whole the locomotion and stuff like that. But then when this whole new thing came in with the British invasion and the birth, they kind of went right with that too. Just such talented, smart songwriters.
So we like to get this part out of the way early in the show. We thank you so much for supporting this show because it really keeps us going. And we put a lot of work into the shows, and if we had to do anything else for money, we wouldn't be able to put these shows on. So thank you for your tips. They're optional, of course, but they're so appreciated. And there's many ways you can provide tips if you're able. Venmo.com is a good way. Venmo.com/the_Kennedys. There's also paypal.me/thekennedysmusic. We also love getting cards and letters from people we don't even know at P.O. Box. We haven't played that song yet. Someday we will, but not on this show.
Yeah.
P.O. Box 8673, Tarrytown, New York 10591. We moved up out of the city a few months back. And of course, all those tipping options and more, Zelle is up there too, are on our official Kennedy's website, kennedysmusic.com. So thank you again so much, everybody who's been helping to support the show and keep it going for over a year now. All right. This is one more. This is another one of Herbert's requests.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, great.
He's got good taste.
He's got really good taste in Byrds songs.
Yes. And I get to play the Chris Hillman bass part. On this one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. 2, 3, 4.
Well, if you think she's everything you could want, and if you think she's everything that could be, well, I still think the world turns all around her, and I still wish that she belonged to me. I don't know how I ever could have thought that I'd let her go and still be just the same. But I think that the world turns all around her, and everywhere I go I hear her name. Somewhere along the way, I don't know why, I thought that I would want to let her go. But now whenever I see her with you, I realized how much I didn't know. So if you tell her every day you love her, and if you tell her everything she could be, you'll find out that your world will turn around her. You'll feel the same if you should let her
My big bass moment.
You got the bass moment. That's such a cool song, man. There's a lot going on in
I know there's a lot going on in that song.
Modal. Mixolydian. They used Mixolydian a lot.
Gene Clark was really into all that modal stuff. He was into it, and I love that. This next song, we're going to dedicate this to our friend Grace Fernari, who watches every week.
Yeah.
She doesn't know we're going to do this, but how many years ago? It was in the early 90s. We were at a Tower Records where she worked.
On Newbury Street.
On Newbury Street in Boston. And she was playing this record. It was so cool. And I heard this song for the first time. I didn't at that point have the Dillard and Clark album that came out in '69. So this is the first time I ever heard this song, and it was by the Velvet Crush. And I was like, who is this band? If you don't have the Velvet Crush Teenage Symphonies to God, that's a good recommendation from us. Mm-hmm. And they did a beautiful version of this song. So we're going to dedicate this to Grace, who turned us onto it in the first place. Ready? 2, 3, 4.
Saw was filled with
What a
What a
heartbreaking
great
song.
Yeah, he was like the king of the really sad songs.
Sad songs, I know, but they're great to sing.
Gene Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great to sing, though, you know? You
I
just
think
can't-
of him as a real troubadour.
Totally.
Because the real troubadours in France in the Middle Ages, they always sang heartbreak songs, and he was the king of that. He was a true troubadour.
Speaking of the king,
King.
Howard Gempel asked for this song. We're also going to send it out to Ricky 12 String. He's a wonderful DJ in Sweden, and he has a show there every week. And his 4 favorite acts are the Beatles, the Byrds, Tom Petty, and the Kennedys. And this song has 3 of the 4. Obviously, it's got the Kennedys.
And when we saw McGuinn and with Marty Stewart and everybody, he talked a lot about Tom Petty
Yes.
and his love for Tom Petty and their kind of musical brotherhood.
They did a whole little mini set at that show.
Yeah,
saw.
of Tom Petty songs. And this is a song that Petty and McGuinn wrote together.
It's on the Back from Rio album. Great record. I saw that tour when I was living in Austin, too, by the way. That was fun.
It's one of those great California songs.
LA's asleep. You roll up your window. The night air is cold. The freeway's clean. In a green Gucci bag. Your prized possessions. The jewels of your mind. To hold back the fear. And when Monday comes around, there's a high, lonesome sound, and she follows you down for the kill. And a white blinding light makes it all seem so right, and you
That's a great song, man. It's like a movie.
It is a movie, yeah.
Feature film,
Yeah.
just based on the lyrics of that song. That's a brilliant songwriting, because you've only got, it's not like writing a novel, you've got like 12, maybe 16 lines, and to tell a whole story and paint a whole picture, leaving so much to the listener's imagination, which is what makes it really great.
And there's different, I mean, I guess the main interpretation is about cocaine use, but I always thought it was about the Manson thing.
Well, you don't know.
Because
That's
the
great thing
crystal's
about it.
cracked and there's blood on the wall. But I'm sure I'm wrong. Actually, no, because when you write a song, it should be open for interpretation.
So we haven't done a Chris Hillman song yet.
Yes, we did. We did.
Really?
He co-wrote "So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star" with McGuinn.
Oh, yeah.
According to
yeah.
Wikipedia.
That's right. Yeah. I think
Actually, according
that's
to my
correct.
Byrds box set. But this song got more requests by about 4 times than any others, and it was not a single. I mean, maybe it was a single. It was not a hit. Maybe it was a single. But I don't think it was.
Yeah, I didn't know it until people started asking for it.
So, yeah, this was on the Younger Than Yesterday album, and we got requests from Wayne Rogers, who's going to watch in reruns. He's got a family thing right now. Andy Mitchell asked for this, and Beverly Barnes asked for this too, and a few others, but those are the ones I remembered to write down. And it's very Beatle-y.
It is, yeah.
I like the Beatle-y chords.
It's got a
We
British
have to keep our wits
invasion.
about ourselves for this one because there's so many chords and they go by so fast.
That's right. You can't nap during this song.
Somebody told me that they watch us and they play along. This one you have to watch. You might want to put it in slow-mo. Does YouTube have slow-mo? Maybe it does. I don't know.
We could play it in slow-mo.
I'm gonna give you a 2-bar count off
Right.
because I wasn't doing that in rehearsal. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Seen her face, her eyes reflect the colors in the sky. A warm, familiar place to be swept into whenever she's close by. Makes you wonder why. Run by, don't turn back. Can't hide from the look in her eye. Must be the way she walks, a style made up to capture all she needs for time to spend on the star. If your luck runs right, she might see you tonight. Anything inside. Run by, don't turn back. Can't hide from that look in her eye. Run by, don't turn back. Can't hide from that look in her eye. You find you locked in her spell. All the sights and sounds your senses will be found. Only time will tell how much love can mean to wait so patiently. Wait and see. Run by, don't turn back. Can't hide from that look in her eye.
So many chords.
That song
and
is
so fast.
It's so British invasion-y,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Well, the Beatles listen to the Beach Boys, and the Beach Boys listen to the Beatles, and the Byrds listen to the Beatles, and the Beatles listen to the Byrds, and everybody listened to Dylan.
Okay, you
was
just
a
summed
very-
up the
it was-
60s.
Well, it was
all
a
in
very,
one thing.
very healthy. I don't even know if you'd call it a competition. It was healthy inspiration.
Yeah,
I love that.
a mutual admiration society.
Well, we mentioned that it was, obviously it's Easter and Passover and International Carrot Day. It's also the 53rd anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. And This song is a song that it was a traditional song, and McGuinn rewrote it. He really rewrote the melody and added his own words to reference the JFK assassination. But since it is a traditional song, we took a little bit of liberty with it.
Folk process.
Folk process. 2, 3, 4.
He was a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine. His killing had no purpose, no reason or rhyme. Oh, he was a friend of mine. He was in Memphis town. He was in Memphis town. 53 years later, good trouble carries on. Oh, he died in Memphis town. He was in a northern town. He was in a northern town. For only $20, a killer took him down. Oh, he died in a northern town. And they never knew my name. They never knew my name. Though we never met them, we knew them just the same. Oh, he was a friend of mine.
Years it's been since Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, and we're still fighting
Yeah.
the fight. And somebody mentioned on TV today that we also have to remember his family is still here, and they're celebrating Easter without him for another year. So
Metaphysical song now.
very metaphysical song, and a waltz at that. A metaphysical waltz.
Yeah.
There should be a whole genre.
Metaphysical waltz. Yeah.
Maybe not.
No, I
But
think that's a great
it's a good idea. And we got a request to not shorten Pete's solo on the end of this. Like they want a nice full long jam at the end of this song.
It's like a kind of dulcimer style.
Yeah.
Dulcimer, or it sounds a little bit like bagpipe kind of Celtic sound,
Oh, yes.
too.
And McGuinn song.
Yeah.
Roger McGuinn wrote this
Yeah.
song. Ready?
Yeah.
Start cold, right? 2, 3.
Oh, how is it
that I can come out to here and be still floating and never hit bottom and keep falling through, just relaxed and paying attention. All my two-dimensional boundaries were gone. I had lost to them badly. I saw the road crumble and thought I was dead, but I found my senses still working. And as I continued to drop through the hole, I found holes surrounding to show me that joy and innocent ears to just be quiet and feel it around you. And I opened my heart to the whole universe, and I found it was loving. And I saw the great blunder my teachers had made, scientific delirium madness. Oh, I will keep falling as long as I live, without ending. And I will remember the place that is now, but it's ended before the beginning. Oh, how is it that I can come out to here and be still floating and never hit bottom and keep falling through, just relaxed and paying attention. Come on, Pete.
You got the full solo.
Yeah. Got the whole solo.
I love that song.
I love that song,
I mean,
too.
I say that after every song, but
Yeah, but there's no other song like that, you know?
no.
With those great lyrics and but such a folky feel, but with such out there in the good way lyrics.
And
you
I
know?
love the
It's
quality
great.
of McGuinn's voice so much on that one, especially when he's
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
cry from the soul. I love that. This song that we're going to do is a song that was recorded in 1970 by the Byrds, but it went unreleased. And so Gene Clark ended up putting it on one of his albums, on the Roadmaster album, which was his third album. But I love it. It's a song. It's a song of encouragement, which goes right in with our whole thing as the Kennedys. We like to sing songs of encouragement, and this is one of those. I guess I should maybe check my tuning too.
Encouragement, recovery, maybe.
Usually the guitars stay in tune, but with springtime here and the weather changes every day, it starts off cold and gets warm. All right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful melody too.
1, 2, 3, 4. Don't you come down, don't you feel bad, and bass thing. Boom. It comes back around. Yeah. What a fun song. And it was unreleased somehow. The Byrds didn't release it.
Yeah,
I guess people always record more than they use, which is better than recording less than you use.
in a band like the Byrds, I mean, they're such a great band. And they have such a great catalog of songs that they have songs that they didn't even put out that would be someone else's like greatest
I know,
songs.
right?
That's why it's so great to delve real deeply into.
Let's
the
take
whole
another
thing.
look at this shirt. Because we're going to do a song from the Sweetheart of the Rodeo album.
Yep. Their first kind of country.
People think of that as like one of the very first Americana albums, maybe the first. Although there's always controversy when you make a statement like that. But it is definitely, if it's not the first, it's definitely probably the most important,
Influential one.
influentially speaking. And so we're going to do this one, written by Graham Parsons and. I should know this. And Bob Buchanan. He was in the International Submarine Band. They wrote it together. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Another waltz. Dun, dun. In South Carolina, there are many tall pines. I remember the oak trees that we used to find. Now when I'm lonesome, I always pretend that I'm getting my feet hickory wind. I started out younger, most everything, all the riches and pleasures. What else could life bring? Makes me feel better each time you begin calling me home, hickory wind. It's a hard way to find out. Trouble is real in a faraway city, in a faraway field, but it makes me feel better each time you begin calling me home, hickory wind keeps calling me home, hickory wind. I like the way you snuck that in there.
Had to put some steel on there.
Yeah.
You know, the Sweetheart album has a song, the great Lloyd Green, one of the all-time great steel players, is like all over that album playing just beautiful, beautiful stuff.
So we're going to do a dedication here. The last couple of weeks we mentioned that one of our regular listeners and a dear old friend, Bill King, had been in the hospital suffering from pneumonia, and I'm very sad to say that we lost him a couple days ago. And we thought we would send this out to his memory and also to Sylvia, his girlfriend, who is just devastated. Bill, we go way back with Bill. I remember when I put out my first solo album, Bill came to the living room and he took a picture. And then the next time we saw him, he gave me this cup. Can barely see my image on there, but he did stuff like that. And he requested more songs for the show. He didn't watch on the chat. They watched on their TV screen, and he would email me so many requests I can attribute to Bill King. So he was living in Elizabeth, New Jersey. I saw some mention of Elizabeth, New Jersey on the chat. So we're going to send this to him and send so much love out to Sylvia, who's really devastated. And it's another, we're Gene Clark heavy on this show. It's another Gene Clark song.
Yeah.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Funny how the circle turns around. First you're up, then you're down again. Though the circle takes what it may give, each time around makes you live again. Funny how the circle is a wheel, and it may steal someone who is a friend. Funny how the circle takes you flying, and if it's right, it brings it back again. Funny how the circle turns around. Think you're lost, then you're found again. Though you always look for what you know, each time around there's something new again. Funny how the circle is a wheel, and it can steal someone who is a friend. Funny how the circle takes you flying, and if it's right, it brings it back again. Funny how the circle is a wheel, and it can steal someone who is a friend. Funny how the circle takes you flying, and if it's right, it brings it back again.
That's for Bill King. And it's also, it's perfect for Easter too, isn't it? The resurrection thing, the wheel of life.
In spring, you know.
In spring,
general,
yeah.
all those holidays are related to spring.
As always, we're going to go overtime. I should mention, last couple of weeks we did the contest to name our group, and it was narrowed down last week to 2 contenders. One was the original name of our fan group back in the early 90s that Sheila Turner had started, and that was called Jangle Poets, which was a little compound word we invented on our River of Fallen Stars album. It's in that song. But there was a contest, and people sent in their suggestions, and the number 2 contender was Special K's. And boy, did we learn something last week. We found out
Shows
that
how naive we were.
we don't know about the street drug references. So we took that one off, and we're going to stick with Jangle Poets. So There you go.
So you're the Jangle Poets.
And we're gonna run over. We're also gonna tell you. So stay tuned. We're gonna tell you what next week's show is gonna be, but you have to wait for it. This is one of our favorite Gene Clark songs.
Let's send this one out to Carla Olson.
Carla and Gene sang this on their So Rebellious a Lover album. And Carla's become a really good friend of ours. And we actually, I don't think we're at liberty to say anything just yet, but we did a project with her recently. It's not out yet. It's coming out. But this is a song that we first learned from Carla and Gene. This is Gypsy Rider. 2, 3.
Crank her over once again. Put your face into the wind. Find another road where you've never been. Sing that two-wheel melody, a highway symphony. You know they'll never understand. Gypsy Rider, sing your two-wheel symphony. You know there's nothing to explain. They should have known by now you're just a vagabond. You may never pass this way again. All the writings on the wall, the paper all must fall. You're only as good as your word remains. You can take it out if you decide to follow through. Just take what you've earned and leave what remains. Gypsy Rider, sing your two-wheel symphony. You know there's nothing to explain. They should have known by now you're just a vagabond. You may never pass this way again. Crank her over once again. Put your face into the wind. Find another road where you've never been.
Yeah. All right.
A haunting song.
We're going to do 2 minor key songs in a row, which are also 2 Gene Clark songs in a row.
Yeah.
And then we'll, bop you up a little bit after that. But after this song, we will tell you what next week's show will be. Oh, I got the mandolin out.
In honor of Chris Hillman, I'll play mandolin.
All right. Yeah.
He's known as the bass player in the Byrds, but he's a great
Such a
mandolin
good
player
mandolin
too.
player.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Have you seen the silver raven the sea, beyond the stars, and the sky, beyond the sunbeams, and the world beyond your dreams. Have you seen the old world dying, which was once what new world seen? Have you seen the silver raven? She has wings that barely gleam. Barely gleam, they barely glimmer as she circles past the sun. And she tries to tell her sister that her trials just begun. Have you seen the silver raven? She has wings and she can fly far above the darkened waters, far above the troubled sky. Have you seen the changing rivers? Now they wave their turn to tide, but they turn the tide upon you when the sea begins to cry.
Gene Clark, you should get his solo albums. They're all different. They're really different. Some of the stuff is closer to the Byrds, and other stuff is kind of goes out there in almost avant-garde territory. But great writing all around. And we're going to end up. Oh, first we have to tell you about next week's show. We love doing these themes, and we work all week on. I mean, all week long on them. And next week, we've decided, we've gotten a lot of requests for more Hollies. We've also gotten a lot of requests for Kinks, more Kinks songs. So remember those really cheap, thin vinyl albums? You could like flop them around, and they would do like the Searchers versus Paul Revere and the Raiders, or whatever. They'd do the one band versus the other. So we're going to do the Kinks versus the Hollies. Now, it's not a contest because they both win because they're both great bands. But we're going to do that next week. It's going to be really fun. So get your dancing shoes on. And be here next Sunday.
So they'll get equal time
Equal time.
on the playing field.
They got to get equal time.
Uh-huh.
Because,
The Kinks and the Hollies.
yeah.
Just two great bands. So songwriting, everything about them is great.
We love them.
We're going to celebrate that.
So that's next week. And again, have a happy and a blessed Easter and Passover and International Carrot Day. Dig it. And we're going to leave you with this one.
Puns.
Yeah. This
classic.
doesn't need any introduction. Ready?
2, 3, 4.
Come gather round people wherever you roam. Admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. For the times they are a change. Come writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. Don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. There's no telling who of it's naming, for the loser now will be later to win. The times they are changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can let a hand. All the times they are changing. Now the line is drawn, the curse is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present one now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last. For the times they are a change.
The Byrds get 2 whole
So
shows.
inspiring.
And if you missed our first Byrds special, part 1, all different songs, we didn't repeat any, and they are on our YouTube site. If you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/the Kennedys, you'll find a live stream playlist. It's got all of our shows since we started this. 56 of them now are up there on the archive.
So you could put together a 2-hour Byrds show with Byrds tribute show with no trouble.
There you go. Hey,
Because the first one's up there
let's
too.
take it on the road. Hey, y'all, thank you so much for being here. Please mask up. Get your vaccines when they come your way.
Yep.
And be back here next week for our Kinks versus Hollies. And thank you for being here. We love this. It's our favorite thing to do. I say this every week, but it's what keeps us going. You know, having you here and doing the show and learning music and sharing it with you all and seeing all the comments that you post in the chat window. We always go back and look at them. So please take care of yourselves. Please be safe. And we'll see you next week. Peace.